Okay, we're going to look at sine and cosine functions. So first off, let's look at our mother functions. So I'm going to look at my unit circle here. And remember that if I have a triangle, this ordered pair x comma y, the x values is equal to the sine of theta, and the y values is equal to the cosine of theta. So sine is the height, and cosine is the horizontal distance. So for my x's and my y's, actually, you know what? Let's do this as theta and my output y. Okay. Oh, wait, no, just kidding. Let's do x since x is in my equation. It doesn't really matter. Okay. So x is like time. So when the angle is 0 radians, when it is 0 radians, I am at 0 height off the x-axis. At pi over 2 radians, my height is 1. At pi radians, my height is 0. And at 3 pi over 2, my height is -1. And then when I move back to 0 or 2 pi, my height is back to 0. So I'm going to go ahead and graph that. We always graph these trig ratios in kind of quarters. So let's split this up into even quarters. All right, so my one full cycle of one full rotation around the circle takes 0 to 2 pi seconds and then I'm going to cut these up into quarters. So pi over 2, pi, and 3 pi over 2. And sine starts with a height of 0 at 0. We're going to go up to 1 and down to -1, to 1, back to 0, down to -1, and back to 0. So I start on my circle up to the highest point, to the lowest point, and the midline. I can extend this going backwards if we spun backwards. So -pi over 2, -pi, -3 pi over 2, and -2 pi. So lowest point, so it's been to the lowest point, the midpoint, the high point, the midpoint. Lowest, mid, high, mid. Like that. Okay? So a big thing here is that sine starts at the center point, the midline. Okay? Cosine is the horizontal distance. So that's our x values. So if I have my circle from the center at 0, my radius is 1, so I'm 1 unit from center. When I go up to 0, or to pi over 2, I am 0 units horizontally from center. When I go out to pi, I'm furthest away from the center, but on the left-hand side. And back to 0 at 3 pi over 2. And then at 2 pi, back to 1. So we're going to start at 1, go down to -1. So that's 2 pi times 0. We're going to split 2 pi up into quarters, so pi over 2, pi, and 3 pi over 2. So we're going to start at the furthest point from center, the midline, center, midline, center. Something like that. And we can extend it going backwards. But this time we're going to go midline, low point, midline, high point. Okay? And this graph continues on forever. So the domain of cosine is x is equal to all real numbers, and the range is y is between -1 and 1. Same with sine. The domain is x is equal to all real numbers, and the range is y is between negative 1, and 1, with the 1 and negative 1 being included.